All right, all right, all right. Good evening, everyone. It's still daylight here, so I'm a bit skeptical about switching off the lights. Probably using the screen lights from my monitors. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Crypto Pulse Weekly. We're live. Just give me 5 seconds to synchronize the platforms before we head on into the business of today. All right. Okay, it's not there. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Crypto Pulse Weekly. We're live once again. Today, we're talking about the Ledger debacle. If you've been following the news, you will have probably heard over the course of the week that Ledger, the hardware wallet company, had a breach of some sorts. And because of that breach, a number of people's data was exposed. While this is not altogether, it's not altogether new, it was quite unexpected because Ledger is one of those cryptocurrency platforms that are quite respected when it comes to hardware wallets. Well, apparently, somebody must have, somebody must have tampered with their system, and as a result of that, they got hacked. And because of that, a lot of people's information was released into the web, to the dark web. Two implications in that regard. One is that any malicious actor is not able to see the information of people that have Ledger wallets. And secondly, they can actually take a further step in pursuing evil intents, if I may use that word, because now they know that those people's information is in the open, so they can actually go ahead and try to harm the owners of those Ledger wallets. So what should you do if you have a Ledger wallet? Incidentally, I do have a Ledger wallet myself, but I think I moved my crypto away from it a while back because the device kept having an application issue with loading and connecting to the Bitcoin network, which I found very offensive because if you can't synchronize the Bitcoin network, then we have a problem. That's the whole reason why people are getting hardware wallets to start with. So because of that, I sort of went off Ledger. And what are my positions? My positions are this. One, I think people should have old phones or spare phones that they can download the wallet apps on, like Trust Wallet, SafePal, what's this other one? All this other, I only usually remember Trust Wallet. MetaMask has an app as well. You can download, the app, write down your seed phrase somewhere and store it. In the future, there will probably be solutions created for multi-sig, what you call multi-sig wallets or multi-signature wallets, where people are able to have multiple people authenticate a particular wallet before you can move money out of it. But right now, very few wallets offer that functionality. I think that's probably where custody is going to land eventually. So if you have, Ledger wallet, please remove your crypto. It's not a financial advice, of course, but if you have Ledger wallet, my advice would be that you move your crypto away from Ledger immediately. Download things like SafePal, Trust Wallet, Crypto.com, DeFi wallets, MetaMask, even my Ethereum wallet is relatively okay. And the reason I say that is, at least that does not contain, sensitive information or, personal details like that. Some of them might require it, most of them don't. So all you need to do is just download the wallet, not freeze down. And I think I've taught before that, you can actually use electronic ways to encrypt your passwords, but it's something I teach in a course. I don't think I can say it. I don't think I can say it openly on YouTube or Instagram like that. But there's a way to, there are ways to do it where you're able to just, keep your passphrases in the document and then encrypt the document. And then put the document somewhere where it's also encrypted again, like double encryption. What that does, so you encrypt the document primarily, then you encrypt it again. No, I shouldn't be I shouldn't be spilling the beans on that. Yeah. So, but there are ways to do it if you really want to get in touch with me. There are ways to do it where you can, you can write it down in an office document and then do a series of things to it to keep the stuff safe and put it somewhere safe. As a matter of fact, you can do that, put it on a flash drive. In this case, the flash drive then becomes almost like your external drive. Put all your encryptions and the passphrases on a flash drive and keep the flash drive. So you know that as long as you have the flash drive, and you can make multiple copies of the flash drive depending on what the value of your crypto is. And then you're sure that no one, anybody that has access to the flash drive, depending on the flash drive, the flash drive nowadays will have encryptions, just so you know, so you can also encrypt your flash drive. What I'm saying is, let's not depend on, Ledger, because as you can see, centralization always causes problem, like it has done for Ledger. Then there was another news I wanted to talk about. For people that have stuff in Celsius, I think possibly they might be able to get stuff back. Possibly they might be able to get stuff back because the company has now been auctioned. I think it's probably one of the guys' old bodies or their competitive that bought them over. So those guys, the guys that won the auction, they're going to call the company Fahrenheit. It used to be Celsius. They're going to call the company Fahrenheit now. So I think we expect some fireworks in 2024 for hitherto known Celsius. Okay, then I want to talk about, I was going to talk about Pulse Chain, but I don't have time today. I'll probably be done in the next 20 minutes. I checked up on Pulse Chain. Some people asked about Pulse Chain last week. I checked up on it. I think they're doing a good job. What is that? I have it somewhere. I have it somewhere opened. I'm sure about that. Yeah. So let me just separate this guy. So just to quickly run through what people that asked last week about Pulse Chain. Like I said last week, what Pulse Chain is trying to do, essentially has done, is create the protocol that combines the functionalities of Ethereum and Bitcoin, and then become an Ethereum competitor. So, in fact, let me put it in it's a fork. It's a fork of Ethereum. Now, a fork of Ethereum is a nice way to put it. Basically, what they've done is copy and pasted Ethereum and changed everything to PRC as opposed to ERC. They've added some new tweaks to it, added some, some, what's the words now? Condiments or enhancements or embellishments to the ERC20 protocol, and they now call it PRC20. So if you sacrificed back then, you will have something in your accounts. The Pulse X is the swap functionality. So there's the protocol itself, there's the Pulse X, Pulse sub functionality that is on the screen, and it works pretty much like what's his name, MetaMask. Yeah, practically the same way as almost everything, snippages, everything is the same. Then there's the pulsechain.com, which is the hub that is bringing together the PRC20, bringing together the Pulse X and all that. And then there's the PLS bond. PLS bond is just like, a browser showing the various attributes of or what's going on essentially on chain for the Pulse chain. Will it catch on? I think for tokenomics and fundamentals, I think a lot of people will catch on, just like people got on there. What's the name of these guys? Optimism and Arbitrum in the later days of last bull run. I think a lot of people will catch on, and I think it's actually the volume is growing. Let me check here. Yeah, I think the volume is growing in terms of how many people are using the chain, and then how many people are beginning to move value. When I mean move value to the chain, what that means is there's a bridge that has been created, which is which is the bridge that is being shown here. The bridge is 99.2% clogged, essentially. So people are not able to get on the bridge because there's so much demand. Now, it's the two-edged sword, because if the demand is too much and the hype, goes a lot and there's a lot of frenzy, then there may be, bandwidth breakdown in terms of systemic failure of the application or the application interfaces. So because of that, they might, experience something like Solana. It looks like they'll be better than Solana, to be honest. But we're yet to see what do you call that stuff? We're yet to road test them. So we're yet to see, evidence that they can really stand the test of time and the pressure of people trying to get on the bridge. For now, it has not worked well. What would be my advice? Not a financial advice, of course, but I think Pulse chain is a good investment. At least you can expect 500% minimum on these tokens over the next 18 to 24 months. And I say that with some degree of confidence because I know that the whole engineering of everything around Pulse chain is to make sure that the token can pump significantly when the bull run is on. And now the bull run has not started. As a matter of fact, there's a consensus that the dip that we're about to get is the initiation of the next bull run. Like the market is not going to come down to the price levels of the 20s after that dip. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But essentially, what I wanted to say was, I think everything around Pulse X, PLS itself, what are the other stuff? They have a number of here. So Hex, incentive, and Pulse X, Hex, incentive, and PLS. I think they are good buys. I think they're relatively very good buys for now, and the price levels are not too bad as well. So Hex is off the top for almost, what is that price statistics? From the very top, Hex is about, X is 97% from all-time high, which is in the same range with most other small cap altcoins. So what that means is return to all-time high is automatic 9x. But let's say it doesn't return to all-time high, and does how? That's still about 5x for Varia. So yeah, these are the guaranteed, they're guaranteed performance because of the price history that they have. Number two, because of the guy pushing it. Robert Hart is a very flamboyant guy, and he knows crypto marketing. So I think a lot of people will catch on and latch on to the hype, and that will drive some will drive some volume into it, like we've already seen. So that's I think my submission on everything Paul's chain. I think it's a good buy. In terms of analyzing the markets, like I said, I need to close early today, unfortunately. I will have another session probably next week or the week after to close for this season before we start probably the next season in at the end of summer. Anyways, in terms of the price action, I've been trying for a very long time, probably like 2 weeks now, to try to gauge where the market is really going in terms of, what major moves are we expecting next. And I think I've not really had time to sit down because of other engagements. I've not really had time to sit down until last weekend when I just decided to look at it. And what I found out is most obvious on the three-day chart, and this is the analysis. On the 3-day chart, Bitcoin is making a classical test break retest pattern around the 25,000 level. What does that mean? It means that if the price is going strongly in one particular direction, it's going to first attempt that direction. If it doesn't succeed, then attempt it again. If it breaks the second time, to make sure that that price point is totally, tested, the price usually comes back to retest that spot. And that spot right now is sitting around 25,000. So the expectation is that what we're going to have now is price going to draw down back to somewhere around 24,500 or 480 or thereabouts. Once price gets to that region, that is the signal to start going all in. Because what it means is if price doesn't break 24,500 or 24,000 and the market rebounds at 24,000, it's a clear indication that we're about to witness the beginning of a long journey upward in the price of Bitcoin. So like I said, I'm not really saying much today, and that's really what I wanted to share. Hopefully I'll have more time in my hands next week. Talk to you later, everyone. If you do have any questions and you're on the WhatsApp group, you can send me any questions you have. But that's all I have for today. And by God's grace, I will see you next week or the week after. Have a lovely weekend and talk to you later. Bye.